So hello booktube, I'm filming this video to show you my recipe book collection because I am obsessed with cooking and I've got a lot of different recipe books. Everything here is vegan, vegetarian, plant-based, whatever terminology you want to use, and I'll just get straight into it. What is unique about each book, if there's anything noteworthy, if I wouldn't really recommend a book, I'll get into that. Okay, so the first one is the South African Vegan Cookbook. This is by Leozette Ruud, and I will be perfectly honest with you and say anytime I see South African and it's anything to do with food, I'm turned off because South African cuisine, I wouldn't want to say that it's unsophisticated. However, it's mostly meat on a barbecue and that's it. And that is what people consider to be South African cuisine. So, and this goes for like people of all races, white Afrikaners, Zulus are black, like that's, and even this book in itself, I would say it's a bit bland and unimaginative within the recipes. Admittedly, I've not really tried the recipes, but just looking at them, they don't excite me too much. It's like granola and like white people cuisine. But my fiance was very interested in this one, I think because he admires the author or something like that. This next one is a lot more noteworthy for me, Jane Griffiths. So this is A to Z of herbs, and she's got another gardening one with veggie gardening. And I think she's extremely resourceful in the images that she shows you. She's got a solid understanding of biology when she talks about the soil and the conditions that you need to have. So again, it's scientifically sound, very practical suggestions, and also very resourceful. It's not just your run-of-the-mill idiot suggestions that you already know. So I would definitely say Jane Griffiths is fantastic. This specific one, I haven't really looked into this book yet, but there's another one by her which interests me. This next book is called Castaway, and it's by Neil and Jordan Rourke. And this book is fantastic. It's like an immersive world within the pages because it's essentially a travelogue and of various places, and the food photography is stunning. The passion for for food, for travel, for adventure is so manifest within every page here. So this book for me is exceptional. It's fantastic, even with Jane Griffiths as well. There's pictures of her in her garden with her cats, with her animals, and you can just see that Jane has been gardening for a very long time. She deeply loves what she's writing about. It's very similar with Castaway. Certain books that don't call to me, it's because it's bland. The author kind of doesn't even care, or at least that's what it comes across to me as being. Hirsch's Vegan Cookbook, again, a lot of this is very basic, and it's very like beginner, and I don't mean to say that disparagingly, but when I don't know, like one of them was a smoothie or like some sort of alcohol cocktail where it's like buy the alcohol, buy this, cut the fruit, there's your dish. And for me, I don't know, it came across as a bit lazy. Why make a cookbook of all of that? But Hirsch is an appliance brand. So again, they're just saying, oh, use our appliances, and that's kind of the aim of the cookbook. But for me, it's nothing special. At the same time, though, I'm a little bit of a virtuoso in the kitchen. I'm very experimental. I don't necessarily need a recipe. Again, I can be very imaginative, but my fiance very much needs the step by step, cut the onions and then do this, which again, I'm not saying that to be disparaging at all. He also has ADD. So he needs that very sequential, very something that would be obvious and bland to me would be excellent for him and very useful. Whereas, something imaginative like this, he would read it and not know what the hell to do with this book. It would just not make sense to him. He would say, okay, but where's the recipe? Okay, but what must I do? So again, when I chose these recipe books and when we bought it together, we kept those kinds of differences in mind. This one by Dorling Kindersley is fantastic. There's a vegan in the house, fresh, flexible food to keep everyone happy. So this one has a lot of modifications. So it makes the dish, I don't know, let's just open to an example here. Sweet potato, teff, and peanut soup. And it'll say, okay, for meat eaters, you can add this. This is another modification you can make. So it's fantastic because it's supposed to cater to everybody. So, for example, maybe the vegan in your house is on a night out or something. You can take these recipes and again, you can just make it for everyone. And this one is split. So it's got breakfast foods, it's got dinner foods. It's very useful, I will say, very well thought out. Whereas this Hirsch one, I can't really say the same, you know. Again, it's like a beetroot smoothie with like beetroot and carrot, and that's your whole recipe. You know, it's a bit useless. I wouldn't necessarily recommend to run out and buy this, but it was at the SPCA, it was secondhand, so it was fine. Okay, so this one by Katie Besco, vegan barbecue. I would recommend anything by her. So she's got this one, she's got the 5 ingredient vegan, and she's got vegan fakeaways. So again, it's extremely imaginative, the kinds of recipes that she has. So pulled mango tacos. That's not something that's on every TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not telling you make grilled cheese, use vegan cheese, you know, and it's this obvious boring thing that obviously you would have thought of already, where they're underestimating your intelligence and your imaginative capacity. Tamarind aubergines, I mean, that's fantastic, it's imaginative. Another recipe, or like recipe creator, I don't know what to call him, but a chef, is Yotam Ottolenghi. I can't remember what his ethnicity is, but he's Middle Eastern of some sort, and he's incredibly imaginative in the dishes that he puts together. So it's very similar with her. It's not like they just take Italian food and flatten it, or take Middle Eastern food and just flatten it and make it, you know, and dumb it down for the lowest common denominator. I don't want to disparage Jamie Oliver, but he definitely does take from a lot of cultures and doesn't give credit where credit is due. So, you know, I'm kind of thinking of that within these vegan books. They could very well just take a recipe with meat and then, you know, veganize it or dumb it down. However, with Katie Besco, she really celebrates the vegetables themselves, with aubergine, and obviously you can see this food photography is fantastic. So it's, to me, that's also more appealing to someone who does eat meat, where maybe they want to eat more plant-based but they're not really sure how. This is something that is useful because it's showing you what you can do with the vegetables. It's not just showing you meat substitute or meat replacements. It's showing you what can you do with the vegetables, which you can do on the side, you can do as a main meal or whatever it is. But as someone who eats meat, if you're going to be just told, oh, instead of your normal mince, use soy mince, well, that's not very imaginative, is it? That's not very useful. So anyway, Jane's Delicious Garden, this is the one that I was raving about. So it's organic vegetables and herbs within South Africa, and obviously I've used a lot of her suggestions. In every page you can just see how much she loves her garden, and there's a picture of her cat, the tomato thief. I really need to show it to you because it was just finishing me. It was such a cute picture. Oh, I mean, this picture is just so cute of her cat just so happily chowing this. And yeah, I mean, it's quite something to navigate, where you've got monkeys and you've got moles and rats and all sorts of things. But just this book shows her absolute love for gardening, which, again, my garden is mostly overrun by butternut at the moment, but I will definitely take more of her tips into consideration. This next one is called Plentiful, the Big Book of Buddha Food, and this is from the Buddhist Retreat Center, or BRC, in Ikopo in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. This is a fantastic retreat center. It was named by CNN as one of the best Buddhist retreat centers in the entire world. Sorry, my bangle is stuck here. It's not just food photography, it's obviously photography about the center itself. They commend the specific chefs in there, and they obviously allow the chefs to get a say and to speak about some of their favorite dishes and the history of the center and that kind of thing. So buying this book is obviously an amazing way to celebrate the Buddhist Retreat Center and just give to them financially, but it is also a stunning book. Everything here is not vegan, it's vegetarian, but it can obviously be modified. This next one is not actually fully vegan or fully vegetarian. This was given to me by my mother-in-law, and she said, so it was obviously secondhand, and she said she was really surprised at how many of them could be adapted. So, you know, some of it you'll see like egg and you'll see ham and that kind of thing, but there are definitely things that you can modify. I mean, the Japanese salad was very interesting. I would not think to put seaweed within a salad, or nori, or what it's called. But yeah, definitely an interesting one. This next one is Vegan Fake Away by Katie Besco. It is one that I've already mentioned when I was talking about one of Katie Besco's other books. This one is, I will say, very American specific. So it talks about things where you couldn't really get this within South Africa. Like, we don't have the same takeaway chains in South Africa, so a lot of it is not really familiar to the two of us, but still very useful, still very imaginative. So I would say this, maybe this one, but also the 5 ingredient vegan is an interesting one, because to cook something with only 5 ingredients is definitely, it's definitely a pull factor for me, because I don't want to have to go to the grocery shop and get 2,000 things before I can actually just cook. So yeah, I don't know that I would recommend this as like my top Katie Besco book. I would definitely recommend the barbecue one and the 5 ingredient one, which I haven't bought. But yeah, this Vegan Fake Away one, it's okay. It's not my favorite. This one, How to Go Plant-Based. I'm just trying to think if this is the one that I think it is. Yeah, it is. So this is the one that's separated very well. So it talks about things that are from the stove, from the oven, how to change your diet, things to add to your meal prep. So things that you can make ahead and you can freeze, or you can do sauces and meal prep, spreads, so things on toast, family favorites, obviously some sweet dishes as well. So this one is really well organized. I know there's some recipe books where there's no rhyme or reason to the way that the index is created or the contents is created. Again, I'm not saying this to disparage or to be horrible, but there is Nadia, who is a TV personality who does cooking, and one of her cookbooks came out with no rhyme or reason in the table of contents, because I think she was talking about like Ramadan dishes, and she was talking about the Middle East, but sometimes she'll name a country, sometimes she'll name a city, sometimes she'll name a region, sometimes she'll leave some regions completely out of the picture. So it was just very confusing for readers as to what is the rhyme or reason for the organization system. But I would definitely say this is my collection. It's not perfect, but here it is. So I hope you have a great day after watching this.